Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsea. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make this card, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. When you purchase Stampin' Up! Products through me, you can earn free products. Check out my current customer appreciation products on my blog, and the link is listed below in the description. Today, I'm going to share with you this beautiful card. It uses a fun technique that I have done on my channel before, but haven't done for a while, so I thought I'd come back and revisit it with some of the new stamp sets. If you're interested in seeing the other card I created using this technique, you can visit the link up here in the top right corner. So the technique is called partial die cutting to create a beautiful border. So you can see here that I've cut the images all from one piece of cardstock. That is my card base. And so it creates this really pretty border. And so we're going to be doing that today. We're also going to be coloring this pretty image from the Words of Cheer stamp set with some blender pens. So it just gives some really soft colors. So the other thing I want to mention is that the products that I'm using for this card are my customer appreciation products for October 2021. So let's go ahead and walk through those really quickly. So when you purchase products through my online store, there are 3 different levels that you can earn products at. The first level is a $50 order. So in October, if you purchase $50 from me, you're going to receive these beautiful subtle shimmer sequins. And they are so pretty. So there are silver, there's some translucent white, and some fun iridescent white as well in this pack. You can see that I have used all 3 on my card here, and it just gives a really subtle look to your card. You could also use them in shaker cards. They're really pretty for that as well. So when you hit the next level, which is a $100 order, you're going to receive the sequins as well as this beautiful frayed Grosgrain ribbon in Blushing Bride. And you can see here that it's got this beautiful texture on the sides, and it's about a 3/8 of an inch in width. It's just a really soft color and goes so nicely with the card we're creating today. Now my last level is $150. And when you hit this level, you can also act as your own hostess. So make sure to not use the host code and to get those rewards yourself. And you'll get about a 10% reward after you hit $150. And you can use those rewards towards any product that is current on the Stampin' Up! Website. So when you hit that number, you're also going to receive these 2 products from me, as well as the Words of Cheer stamp set. And this is just a really beautiful holiday stamp that you can create some quick and easy cards with. Now there is a die set that coordinates with this stamp set. It's called the Christmas Cheer dies. It is not going to be offered as a free product on my customer appreciation program. So if you're interested in getting the Words of Cheer for free from me, then you'll want to add these dies to your order to reach the 150. So again, they're the Christmas Cheer dies. And so what it does, it has some fun text. So it has happy, and it's cut in a script, and then it has like a background shadow to it that's really pretty. There's some fun cutouts that you can use that coordinate with the images. And then it also will cut out some of the images that are in the stamp set. So for example, this one cuts out this large floral image here. It also has the word cheer, and it is going vertically, but it would be super easy to cut it apart and to make it go horizontal if you'd like. And then it has this fun line of dots that you can use in so many different ways. Okay, so now that we've gone over those customer appreciation products, let's go ahead and make this card. So we're going to start with some crumb cake, and this is going to be our lines for our main image. And again, this is that large floral image from the Words of Cheer stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it on the front of my card base. So I've got just a regular size card base. It's been scored in the center, but I want to stamp this image along this right edge here. So I'm just going to rotate it until I get it to where I want it, and then stamp it. And I want it to come right up to the top of that edge, right up against that edge there. And then I'm going to rotate this one so that I can find kind of a nice way to add it here as well. So if we have some overlapping here, that's okay. This is where our greeting will be, and it will kind of hide some of that. Okay, so here's a close-up of those flowers. You can see they come right up against the edge. There's a little bit of overlapping, but it looks okay. So our next step is going to be to color in these images. And I'm going to start with my light, soft, succulent color. And I've got a blender pen. I've got a little scratch paper off to the side just so that I can double check that it's clean before moving to my next color. So I'm actually going to open this so that I can access some of the ink on the inside of my lid. So you're just going to pick up some of that ink and then you add it to the areas. So this is going to be on my leaves here. Now the fun thing about a blender pen is that it always will start off darker and then it lightens up as the ink is moved into your image. So make sure to always begin after picking up the ink where you want it to be the darkest on that image. And then you can start to blend that into the rest of the image there. Okay, so there's a close-up of those 3 leaves. So then before switching colors, you do want to just run your blender pen on some scratch paper to clean it until it is clear, and then you can move to your next color. So my next color is going to be Evening Evergreen, and I'm going to use this color on my pine boughs. And so I'm just going to kind of brush in some color along each one of those sections. Okay, so there's just a couple on that side. So the next color I'm going to do is the Misty Moonlight. And I've cleaned my tip off, and this color is going to go inside these little half circle leaves here, kind of like a vine leaf. And it's just really nice, soft coloring. And there's a couple in each little grouping. So again, remember, it's going to be nice and dark when you start coloring. Okay, so there's a close-up showing you how it looks. So next we're going to do Bumblebee. And I did get a new blender pen for this. This is a lighter color, and I just don't want to transfer any greens or blues into this light yellow color. So I'm just picking up color like before and adding it to these little berries that are part of the grouping. So something like that. You can see our image is starting to come together. Then the last color I'm going to use is Blushing Bride. And I do have a new tip for that as well. So each pen has 2 tips. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use a new one so that we don't transfer any of those ink colors to the other areas. So I've picked up some ink on my tip, And what I'm going to do here is, because the ink is always darkest where I begin, I'm going to add the ink to the center of each petal and then just kind of pull the rest of that ink out to this edges of the petal. So I'll just repeat that for this large flower here. So here's a close-up showing you how it looks, like the outside petals, how they're looking. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of the inside petals the same way. So this just gives us a really nice light pink flower. And then the inside ones, I'm going to do darker, just kind of almost full strength in the whole petal. And then I'll do the same thing to the other two flowers. Okay, so there's a close-up of those beautiful pink flowers. Okay, so here's a close-up of the whole card. So now we're going to take the coordinating die and we're going to line it up with the image. So once you have it in place, use a little washi tape to hold it. And then you're going to take your cutting plates from your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. The bottom plate, I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then the top plate is only going to go over the area I want cut. So you're going to need a ruler and a pencil, and you're going to measure from the edge of your card about 1 1/4 inches in. And then you're just going to make a mark. So that's going to be right around here. So I just made a mark on my die here. And then do it somewhere in the middle. So 1 1/4 puts me right about here. And then make sure to do it on the other side as well. So this one we're going to mark on our cardstock, but we can erase it. So I have 3 points that I'm now going to line up with my cover. So it's only going to cover the top, this side here, where we want it to cut. And then I'm going to run it through my embossing machine just like this, so that this area is the only area that's cut. Okay, so you'll see here that we've cut just that one section. And this is why it's called partial die cutting, because you're not cutting the whole die cut. You're just cutting out part of it. All right, so the next part is this bottom section that we're going to cut. So we need to now line it up with this side. Okay, so we still have our marking here on the right, and I'm just going to come over to the center and make another marking at 1 1/4 inches. So I can line that up with all my marks, and then I'll run this through and be right back. Okay, so we've gone ahead and cut that. Now we're going to have a little bit of overlapping here in the center where we have some extra pieces. Remember, because we had that overlapped area where we stamped. So we need to clean that up a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to line up my score line with my 3-inch mark here. And that should put me at about 1 1/4 inches on this side. And then I'm going to just trim with my paper trimmer to the cut line. Okay, so this is just a really small cut, and I just want to go slowly until I hit that cut line there, and then that section can be removed. And then I'm going to do the same thing without moving my paper. I'm going to do the same thing here on the inside between the two stamped images. Okay, so that one's going to be removed, and then we're good there at the top. So let's go ahead and just finish this card. I'm going to fold it along that score line, make a nice crease, I do have a couple things that I'm adding just to give some color to that edge. I've got a piece of the Evening Evergreen Shimmer Vellum. I just really love this beautiful vellum. I'm going to just add it to my card base on the inside with a little adhesive along the top and bottom. And that's just really going to help that edge kind of pop. See how pretty that is right there? And then I also wanted to add a little bit of silver. So I've got a 1/2 inch strip from the silver foil pack. And I'm just going to add this along that edge as well. And so that should peek out a little bit as well. So those are just really pretty accents to your card. So next, let's go ahead and do the greeting. So I have the Wishing You a Joyful Christmas on my clear block, and I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen. And I have a label from the Seasonal Labels dies. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right in the center. Then I have my banners Pick-a-Punch, and I have a strip of the silver foil sheet, and you can get all the dimension information for any of the pieces, as well as product numbers and prices down in the description below. You can also get written instructions on my blog if you're interested in that, and the link to that is also listed below. So that's going to just get added to the back of our greeting. So go ahead and just center that. Then on the back of this, we're going to add some ribbon. And this is that beautiful ribbon that you can get for free with a $100 order or more. And again, it's Blushing Bride, which coordinates really nicely with the ink colors that we used. And to do this, I'm just going to adhere it to one side like that. Then I'm going to put my finger about where the silver ends and wrap it back. And this time it's going to go in the middle. And then do the same. Put my finger on that silver end of that silver strip and then come across again on this side. Gonna straighten this one up just a little bit. There. And then get a pair of scissors and just cut this at an angle and trim this down to an angle as well. So you'll get something that looks like this, and this will get added to our card with dimensionals. And I like to use dimensionals with ribbon just so it gives there a little bit of space for that ribbon to move around and breathe. Then we'll add this to the center of our card. Just like that. And then you just want to make sure you don't have any adhesive poking through on that, kind of that little hole that we have. That looks like my ribbon frayed just a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that down so we don't see that. And then the last step is to add some of those pretty sequins. And so to do that, I'm going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just going to begin by adding some dots in this open area here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and then a couple down here. Now I went a little crazy with that dot, so I'm going to kind of pick that up with some paper. So I've got some scratch paper here, and I'm just going to kind of scoop that up so that we don't have too much adhesive going to poke out from underneath that sequin. So 1, 2, maybe 1 here, and then a couple over on this side. So about 5 there as well. And then I'm going to take those sequins and my Take a Pick tool. What I like to do is just kind of dump a little bit into the lid and then put these off to the side so I don't actually accidentally hit the jar and dump them all out. So we're going to use just a variety of colors and sizes here. And to make it also a little easier to get them to stick, I like to use the pointy end, and that just kind of holds it onto the cardstock. So let's next grab a large, let's maybe do a white one here, up here at the top. And then there are some that are kind of like a not so bright silver. So let's see if we can grab one of those and place that maybe on this one here. And then I really love the iridescent white, so let's grab that one. We'll place that down here so we have some big and some little. And then maybe another silver one kind of here so we can see it. And then let's do some small ones. So we've got a small iridescent right there. And let's do a small silver. Oh, that one was double. Let's put that other small silver here then. And we need a couple more. So let's try for one of these more dull silvers and then maybe another iridescent. There's one right there. Okay, so that card is all done. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this beautiful card today. If you're interested in getting more information on my Customer Appreciation Program or written instructions and close-up images for this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsea.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.